Hello and welcome to the Data.s YouTube channel. Today we will talk about how to use the case when statement in BigQuery. This operator is useful in two ways. At first, it can help you to define groups of data based on certain conditions. Otherwise, you can set up different calculations, again based on single or multiple conditions. But before I watch this video, please check out the other videos from our free SQL course on this YouTube channel. Or go to the website, link in the description and watch the videos there. But let's start with the case when operator now. So then let's start with our first case when statement. So the first one we will type as usual, and then I will just copy and paste some other models, some other types where we will take a look into it. So let's start. Select case when duration sec. We'll do our usual duration sec, so from the bike share trips table, smaller than 1,800, then prioritize or mapping it as a short trip. So now I showed that trick already in the last video about the cast operator. If you want to add this same line again, you just need to press on Mac the Shift option and then the arrow buttons up or downwards. I think for Windows it should be Shift Control and then the arrow buttons, so should be quite easily possible. So we just delete these two because these two we don't need. And then we have case when duration sec smaller than 1,800 seconds. So it's because it's a second, so it's measured in seconds. Then I would call it a short trip. If the duration sec is higher or equals than 1,800 and the duration sec is smaller or equals to 3,600 seconds, then it should be, I call it mid-long trip or mid-trip, middle trip, whatever, so something like that. And if it should be higher than 3,600 seconds, then I would call it long trip. So this we will call long trip, and now we need to finish our case when statement by setting up end as duration type. You can call it however you like. I think type is a good word here. And now I would like to know, okay, how often short trip, mid trip, long trip is happening so that I get more feeling of my data. And due to that, we will do count star as count rows. And we will then also do the group by and so on later. And now from, I will just copy the column name because I'm too lazy. So bike share trips. Group by 1, order by 2 descending, so that I'm basically grouping by this duration sec or duration type column. And I have here the count star where I want to sort by. So we can execute this query and let's see what we have. So we have the short trip, the long trip and the mid trip. And you see, for example, that the short trip has by far the most trips or the most trips have the duration type short trip at the end, and long trip more than mid trip, for example, which is interesting. So that's basically one thing what you can do. So based on certain conditions, smaller, here you for sure need to check that basically this 1,800 seconds are also inside. So here we have two conditions at the end. So does it need to be inside a window? And here we have that it's higher and then it's long trip. Now I will just show you a second thing what you can do, which is a little bit different, but we go step by step through it. So as you see, there are no difference basically in the count rows. We are still grouped by the first parameter here, so by the case when, order by 2 des, so that's everything the same, also the same table. But we say, okay, please case subscriber type, put it into brackets as the other type of how you can set up your case when statement. And when the subscriber type, that is the metric I'm referring to, is NaN, then I would like to call it unknown. If it's subscriber, I would just like to keep it as subscriber. We also would not need to take that one if we should change it a bit. And customer, I would like to format to no subscriber because customer is for me a little bit misleading. Yes, so also that is possible. So we can also quickly executing it. And now you see, okay, we have unknowns, we have subscriber and we have no subscriber. What we could do additionally is we can get rid of this one and just say else subscriber type and you get the exact same example, because we just say, okay, we are not doing anything with a subscriber, so we just would like to change these two values, and the rest we keep it as this, and also we keep column name at the end. That is a complete usual thing you can do with case whens. So just doing something like naming conditions, or just say, okay, here are some values which for the end users or in dashboards or whatever, not that easy to understand, and due to that we can just change the names a bit. But it makes always then sense, if you would have new subscriber types, to at least say, okay, else just take the usual subscriber type. Okay, now I would like to switch to the orders data to also show you two quick examples. So the first one is that one here. So we have the product name from the order item table. We are grouping by the first two columns and order by the third one. So we are grouping by the product name. Then I will do here some category thing. We will look into it and then count rows as usual. So what do we have here? We say case when product name like man, then it's a male category, for example. If the product name is woman, or so not is woman, contains the word woman, then it's female. Or if it's unisex, or you also then see, for example, okay, it's also uni minus sex, then it's a unisex category, and else it's unknown, or there is not really a category or a gender category or whatever. Now we can start that. And now we see here super easily, okay, so we have man hooded red hoodie, which is then at the end a male category. And here the same for all the other ones. Here we have unisex, so it's unisex. Here, for example, we do not have any information inside. Due to that, it's unknown. And so on and so on. So that's also something you can do with case when statements. I think quite easily, so you can take basically just one condition, or in even one when statement, you can take multiple conditions inside. You just need to conquer them via an and or an or. In this case, it's an or, so both is fine. And just if one of them is true, it's then unisex. And then the second one is already a little bit more special. And there are at the end two ways how I usually use case when statements. So the first one is the one we showed already, with doing some kind of string formatting or finding categories or something like that. And the second one is to use for certain conditions different calculations. And here we have the product name, and then I'm doing here some shit. We will come to that in a second, and the rest we keep it as this: count rows, group by, order by, whatever. So at first I'm taking here the sum, and then I'm starting with the case when. So this is at the end the case when. So I say, okay, when product name like man or product name like woman, then I'm taking the product gross revenue after discount. At the end, it should be also the product gross revenue after discount. So this at the end stays as it is. We could also do it vice versa, but whatever. Else, I would like to take the product VK, in German it's the Verkaufspreis or the product purchase price or selling price, but selling price is better. So product selling price, and then the product quantity ordered. Why? Because maybe in the data we saw, okay, for some products, this product gross revenue after discounts, there's any kind of edge case inside, so there it's working, but for other products not. Whatever, I just would like to show you what's the reason behind, or what is also possible to do in the case when statement. So here I'm just saying, okay, so just give me product name multiplied with the product quantity ordered, and that's it at the end. So I'm basically, based on conditions, I'm managing which calculations I would like to have, or which columns I would like to take into consideration for the desired column. Well, due to that, we can now calculating that, and here we see then that we have product gross revenue with also again the count rows per product name. And based on the product name, so here for example we have man, so due to that we are taking the original product gross revenue after discount. So with these examples at the end you see that you can managing your conditions or your case whens, your whole calculations in different conditions, that you here say, okay, just for certain products I would like to take another calculation. Then for example here for all the other products I would like to take two other columns and put them together, and then showing again that's the product gross revenue after discount. As you can see, the case when operator is useful if you need to adjust your data based on multiple conditions. If the corresponding values just depends on one condition, you can use the if operator instead. But that's it. If you want to have more information about SQL in general, you can check out our blogs on Medium, posts on LinkedIn, and our website. The important links you'll find in the description, and then see you in the next video.